nuestra familia, nuestros hijos, este abrazo fraterno, el sonido esencial de la banda, conmoción, dale Cuyabala.
First is the weather, because the weather was amazing. The winters were nothing like they are here. There was a lot of sun. I think I also really like the wine.
All the natural areas, because for me it's so different than, I grew up near Madison and it's all really green and lots of evergreens and deciduous trees and stuff like that, but when I go to Chile it's always near Viña del Mar and it's so dry there, but they still have so much different vegetation and it's so pretty. I love going to Las Dunas and Concon, sand, and then there's a little marsh and it's so pretty, and I just really love the natural parts of Chile.
Chiloe was great. It was really cold. I showed up in the middle of winter, and all the houses there are, basically made out of really, really thin wood. So you learn to bundle up well. It was good. The food was good. I thought the food on Chiloe was better than in some other places, just because you have a lot of seafood. That was really nice.
I lived in Santiago for a long time, so one of the things that I really liked a lot was being able to travel very easily. Just get on the bus and go. I hate to drive, and I have never owned a car, so I just love that freedom of being in the city, but being able to go to the mountains or be able to go to the beach with public transportation fairly easily and not that expensive. I really love that.
One of the things I really love about Chile is a little restaurant called La Gatita in Viña del Mar, and it's incredible. The best, I don't know what it's called, but it's like oysters, and then there's Parmesan cheese on it, and I think there's like cream sauce, and it's the most delicious thing I've ever eaten in my life. That, with a pisco sour and a view of the ocean, incredible. Incredible. Nothing like it in the world.
The single thing that I liked the most about Chile were the avocados. I had not really experienced avocados like when I had in Chile, not just because of their taste and seemingly because they were really fresh in Chile, but because of their abundance. Everybody always had avocados wherever I went. At their place, there were this little palta, as they call them in Chile, or I guess this one's from Mexico, but this little palta was everywhere in Chile. And I remember the first time that I went to a house and we were having onces, and someone brought out some bread and then an avocado, and they started instructing me on how to butter the avocado, or the bread with the avocado. And I thought they were crazy, but it was one of them. And I never even knew that was possible before I went to Chile.
For some reason, I think Chilean men have really big foreheads. I can't explain this, except they kind of, every single Chilean guy I know, really big forehead. Who knows? Difference between Chileans and Americans, also having to do with men. For some reason, Chilean men like to speak really high pitch when they get excited. They're like talking to each other at a party. Oh, we won! ¿Cómo estás? And it's incredible. I've never seen an American dude ever speak like that, ever. Like, they'd be like, yeah, what's up, man, how's it going? But in Chile, it would be like, hey, I have no idea what they're saying, because they're talking so fast, but it's hilarious.
People in Chile are a lot more physical. When they talk, like, they're gonna grab you, they're gonna hold on to you. If they're talking to you, they'll give you a tap on your shoulder, or like bring you in for a.
People were open to having you you over to their house for dinner, or showing you something, spending some time to show you something in particular, potentially because I was a foreigner, because I was an American in Santiago. But I think principally, comparing it to the United States, people were not having as many like exchange relationships with me. Maybe they felt like they should give me some charity because I was like a lost, American or something in Chile. But people were very generous with their time, very generous with their hospitality, with no expectation whatsoever.
About the line system in Chile. So here, everyone respects the line or respects the queue. So you know that you patiently wait your spot in line. No one cuts. So I would go into bakeries. There's one called Castaño, and I would patiently wait in line. And I'd been there for 10 or 15 minutes, and people kept coming in the front door and ordering and leaving. And the line just didn't seem to exist. So I suddenly realized that there's no line system here in Chile. You just have to go up and be really aggressive and kind of take your place.
I guess I'll speak about the openness of the people, which was really nice. Within being in Chiloe for a week, I already had at least a dozen really genuine invitations to go spend time with families that I had never met before. I would meet someone through a friend, and then I would meet their mutual friend's friend, and that person, who's now 4 people removed, invited me to go spend a Sunday with their family 2 miles away to have an asado and to spend the whole day together. And I did, and I tried to take advantage of as many of those really random connections as I could, and I think that's something that wouldn't necessarily happen in the States.
Men said a lot of things to me on the street, and I happened to be living in an apartment building that was right next to a construction site. So every day going to the bus, from up above, they would be yelling like, "Gringa, mijita rica," I don't even know how to translate it, but basically like, "Oh, you look good," or anything that they would say to you, which is not really that common in the U.S. And I went home, I was kind of disturbed, and I went home to my host mother, and she said, no, that's good. When you need to worry is when they don't say anything at all. And so then when I come back to the States, they don't really say anything at all. I'm a little concerned.
And there's bike paths, but a lot of times the bike paths are kind of funny. Like, they're not quite built for commuting like it is here in Madison, so you'll be like biking, and there's like this little teeny bike path, and then suddenly there's a tree, and it'll go around the tree, and then it'll keep going, and then like, oh, there's something else, you go around that, oh, there's a fire hydrant, around that. So it's a bike path, but it's the most ridiculous bike path I've ever been on in my life. Pretty awesome. So it's pretty cool.
Was the fact that I was walking around the National Palace one day, and I saw who I thought to be the president of the country walking across the street with another man in a suit, with no guards, no police whatsoever, and it was Ricardo Lagos, who was the president at the time. And for me, coming from the United States, that was the weirdest thing I've almost ever seen.
The thing that I noticed walking down the street right around New Year's, I think it's New Year's, I think it was the week before, I was seeing all of these people selling, people sell things on the streets, random jewelry and clothes, and I kept seeing all of this yellow underwear. And I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, yellow underwear? Is this like a Packers thing or like a sports thing? Like, what on earth is the yellow underwear about? And finally, Rodolfo my husband, had to explain that ladies like to wear the yellow underwear for luck. And there you go. I don't know why yellow, I don't know why underwear, but I think that's awesome. So.